Hey guys, it's me Stans of Deja Vu Naturals. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do something very helpful that I think would be very helpful for any natural, anyone that has big chops, anyone that is thinking about it, anyone that is in the struggle and just need a little bit of help. And so I hope this is helpful. This video is going to be about 10 tips that we need to remember whether we're on this journey or we're getting started or we just need a little bit of motivation. So a little bit of motivation. So if you want to see the rest of this video, stay tuned. Yeah, so tip number one, which I think is one of the most important. I will start with the 5 most important. I think when you're on your natural hair journey, that has worked for me as well. Number one would be consistency. Consistency is key. You have to keep up with your treatments. You have to keep up with your daily care. You have to keep up with making sure that you're detangling, that your hair is well, clean, moisturized. So it's all about consistency. Consistency will give you the end results that you're really looking for. Tip number 2, I would say, is to learn your hair. So pay attention to your hair. Make sure that as your hair progresses, as the months go by, you are paying attention to the products that your hair do like. You are paying attention to what works and what doesn't work, what gives you, maybe you want your edges to be laid. You're paying attention to those type of products, the edge control or styling gel, what really is going to work for your hair texture, whatever style you're creating, even with styling products, what works well for you. So it's very important to pay attention to your hair because everyone's hair texture, everyone's hair journey is going to be different. And tip number 3 would be, when I first started, one of the things I did was a lot of research. So a lot of research on different products. I tried not to break the bank by going on and splurging on products. All I used things from my fridge and also in my cupboard. So I would do a lot of homemade based products, and I think that is one of the most amazing decisions that I made, because not only did I learn a lot, but I also was able to create these amazing products that allowed my hair to flourish. So I would say do your research, really read up on information that is going to be helpful, especially if you don't want to break the bank with going natural. There's a lot of natural oils that are beneficial, a lot of natural products that are even in your fridge that are amazing for your hair. So definitely read up, do your research, and that also will tie into you learning more about your hair and yourself and what's really good for your hair. And tip number 4, now this really depends on whether you want your hair to grow, it really depends on your hair, because again, our hair really depends on genetics. For me, I knew that I had to do a lot of protective styling to get the results that I wanted, and it worked for me. For some naturals, they're able to have their hair free, and that works just fine. It's not necessary for you always have to do protective styling. Again, this is where it comes in about really learning about your hair, but I do believe that protective styling does help with the growth process, especially depending on your hair texture. I really do believe that it does help with that process. So I would say, if that's something that you were on, learn more about what kind of styles you can do. There's so many easy styles you can do as well to protect your ends, because our ends is always the oldest part of our hair, the oils, our natural sebum, really does take its time to travel down to the oldest part, and so that's going to be the least part that is least moisturized, more damaged, more susceptible to damage, and needs the most care. Tip number 5, be patient. It will happen. Your hair will grow, with consistency, with learning products, with trying new things, with making sure that you are doing the right things. Your hair will grow. And that will tie into tip number 6, which is moisture. Our hair needs so much moisture, especially depending on the texture. I know that my hair needs a lot of moisture, so I make sure to deep condition, to put a lot of water, whether it's by drinking water or actually spritzing it on my hair, making a mixture that is going to moisturize my hair. My hair needs a lot of moisture, and so if you are in the same situation, and this goes for a lot of naturals, moisture is key to what really helps our hair flourish. Tip number 7, don't be afraid to be creative, to be free, to try new things, try different hairstyles, hair colors, cuts. I've seen so many things this summer that I'm amazed with. I'm actually amazed that people are so willing now to cut their hair, try different styles, color their hair. I actually colored my hair for the first time this year, and I have been in love with it. It's amazing. And so if you are want to be a free natural and do your thing, do you, do know that it does require more care when you do decide to color your hair and really experiment with your hair, but it's your hair, so have fun with it and be creative if you really want to try something different and you really want to be creative with it. Tip number 8 would be try not to compare yourself to anyone else. Take the information that's given, whether it's through a YouTube video or an article or on social media sites. Take the information, use it, apply it to the way that you can that's going to be beneficial to your hair, but never compare yourself to them, because their hair texture, their hair journey is completely different to yours. And someone's hair may be to your shoulder in 3 years, someone else's might be down to their back. Again, it has a lot to do with genetics. It has a lot to do with the makeup of your hair texture, what you've been doing, how you've been caring for it. It really depends on a lot. So try not to compare yourself to anyone else, but learn as much as you can about your hair and read and research and figure out how you can achieve those best results. But please stay focused on your journey and don't get discouraged, because your hair is not down to your back in 3 years. Tip number 9, actually this should have been one of the first tips, so I do apologize for that, would be to trim your ends. It is very, very important that you trim your ends, because those sneaky little ends, if they're not trimmed and they have a lot of split ends, they have a lot of fairy knots, there's all sorts of things going on, it will travel up to the shaft of your hair and cause breakage, tangling. It will make your life hell. So get rid of those ends and try to make sure that your hair is the ends are clean, and that your ends are trimmed, and that your hair is not susceptible to breakage, because a lot of tangling and a lot of knots, a lot of split ends will also cause a lot of breakage and damage to your hair, and will also make your detangling process hell. So get rid of those ends. Tip number 10, the final tip, would be to ask for help. I've seen so many naturals that need help and they're afraid to ask for help. It's okay to send an email to any YouTube guru that's on here, or YouTube person that's on here doing these natural hair videos. I think it's okay to send them a video and ask a question. I would say don't be afraid. Okay guys, so that was all my tips. I hope those tips were helpful to you guys. I hope that you've taken away something from these tips, and I really, really hope that if you do have any of these issues, that you leave your comments below. Don't be afraid to connect with me. You can follow me on Instagram at officiallystanz. I am always on there. I will connect with you, answer your questions. On Facebook, on Twitter, send me an email. I'm generally mostly on Instagram, but if you send me a message, I will respond to you. No doubt, I will respond to you. Alright guys, so I hope that was helpful. I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.